Starbucks before Go. So it's a very strange name. This is just me creating these names to help you look at this project and say, okay, what it means. This, in our case here, B4 means beta 4. So this code here is being written under beta 4, SwiftUI beta 4, which means things may change later, but at least you will know. And when things change, and if it breaks our code, then we'll know exactly why it's breaking, and I'm going to go fix it and then re-upload it so you have up-to-date code. So don't worry, right? So this is just a way for us to keep track of things. You notice that I went ahead and added a few things inside of our assets folder. So I've got a few duplicated items here. I don't know why I have those, but in any case, I have some items, as you can see here, some images that we're going to be using in our application. So you'll have access to all of this, right? Very good. And the next thing I usually try to do is to figure out the color palette that we are going to be using. That's going to be very handy because then we're going to infer those colors as we develop. So before anything, going back to our design inspiration here, like I said before, we have two options. You can go ahead and get these hex code colors and add to your application. Now, how do we do that? Now, so far, the way we've been using our colors, we've been using what we call native colors per se. So they are things like, when we go to a text, we say foreground, and we can pass some white color, or we can pass gray, or we can pass yellow, all these different colors. But these colors are a little bit limited in the sense that they don't have different shades. Now, we can pass in a hex code and so forth, but there's a better way to do this. So if we go back to our assets here, I'm going to create a new folder inside here. So I'm going to say new folder, and I'm going to call this color like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do inside a color, I'm going to come down here at the bottom and click here, or I can just go and right click as well. Okay. Actually, for now, I'm going to go ahead and right click here. I'm going to say I want to add a new texture set here, but I want a new color set. So this color set allows us to create different shades of the same color. And then we can invoke the name of those shades into our app. So I'm going to say new color set, and it gives us the universal one. Now, we're going to open this right panel there. So inspector there, and we're going to go all the way to the attribute inspector, this icon there. So click there, and then you're going to have a different view here. What we need to do is you see nothing here because you need to click on this color, right? There we go. And then you see that the contextual menu changed here. So we have this input method and also so we can actually use this to change the color as we wish to do. But there's a different method of input here, which is if you click here, drop down, there is the 8-bit hexadecimal. So click on that, and this is exactly what we want. So now notice that I can come down here and get this color, right? I can right click, open a new tab. It's going to give us a new view, and look at that. It gives us this exact hex code that we want. So I'm going to copy this and bring down here, and I'm going to just paste it all there. If you hit enter, and all of a sudden we have that color there. Okay. Now it says here is just a color, but what I want to do is I want to name it something that will make sense to me. So in this case here, I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to name this a cream. Let's call this cream color, or let's call this cream white. Hit enter. Now I have cream white. Look what happens. So once it's all saved, I'm going to go back to our content view here. If I come down here now, I can say dot foreground color. Now I can pass a color like this, and I can pass inside of this color, this initializer color, I can go ahead and pass an actual name. I can say cream white as such. Okay, so we're saying now we're going to get the cream white color inside of our assets. If I save this and give it a run, first time that we are running our project here, You can see, it's hard to see, but there it is indeed, that hello world, and shows there this very nice color. Now it's kind of hard to see, like I said, because of the white background, but you can see now we have it working perfectly. So now we can customize colors. We're not stuck with those colors that we can get easily with SwiftUI. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do here is that although this is a good way to get all the colors that you want, right, we can come here and get this other one here, you can get that one, and so forth. There's so many colors. You can get all of them, and it works fine. But the other thing I like to do, just in case you want to know other ways to do things, is that I have this app that I installed, is an extension. This works with Chrome, called Color Pick Eyedropper. So if you click on this application here, you can drag it to whatever you want, and if you click there, it's going to give the exact hexadecimal code for that color there. Okay? And then of course you can take that color and do what we just did. So that's another way of doing this. Now, how do we install that? Well, if you go to Chrome Web Store, just search Chrome Web Store, and then you're going to get this. You can come up here and search for Color Picker and just install whatever you see there. So most of them work the same. So this is the one I believe that I'm using. So you can just go ahead and add to Chrome, and it's easy. You're going to have it showing there. Okay, so this is just different options of doing that. Okay, but for now we can go ahead and continue what I was doing here. So let's go ahead and get the second color here. I'm going to right click, open new tab. In fact, you can see the color also has been passed here, this D4, so I can copy from there, or I can just come and copy from here. Now, if you click here, it's going to give us other shades that we can change and so forth, but we're not interested in that. So I'm going to copy and go back to our assets. Inside here, right click again, I'm going to new color set. And in this case here, I'm going to click there and method hexadecimal and paste it in there. In this case here, I'm going to call this cream dark. Okay, so cream dark or darker, whichever you want. There we go. Going to do the same thing. Try to get all of them. Go back here. Let's go get this green here. And copy this. Let's see. I'm going to name this dark green. All right, we're going to continue here. In this case here, I'm going to go ahead and use this tool because I want to get this light green exactly how that is. Because sometimes the way things are rendered may not give us the correct colors, I notice. In case, I'm going to come down here, new color set, and click there. I'm going to call this light green. Okay, so those are the three main colors that we're going to be using. All right, so now we know how to create colors. So we can use these colors like we did here. Let's see, I can say dark. If I can type, of course, it's a dark green. It has to be exactly the same names that we added. So let's run it real quick here. You're going to see the changes right away. And there we go. Okay, so that's really good. So very nice. So now we have our assets, which includes our colors and also the assets we're going to be using. So in the next video, we're going to continue and start tackling the actual user interface, which is what we're going to be building this beast here.